And welcome to Co-op Guild. This is Steve. I'm here with an episode of Co-op Corner. So if you're first time joining, welcome. This is the chat where we go over cooperative news for the month. So cover lots of games today. Got a lot of stuff to cover. I feel like that's always the topic. It's funny because I focus basically exclusively on co-ops, and there's already a ton of games. Can't even get through them all. It's just a great time to be in the hobby. So, I see lots of friends here already. Hey, Greg. Hey, Steph. By the way, amazing role, Steph, in the Boss Battler. Speaking of which, Boss Battle stuff. If you guys have any questions, let me know, because I'm open to doing open Q&A at the end of this. If you have any questions you have, does it be board game related? It could be anything. So, I can hang around to answer those questions after this. Let's see. Hey, Kevin, welcome. Noob. Yeah. No worry, Kevin. You'll get stronger. So, yeah, always a lot of great games. Exactly. Great month for sure, Chris. I agree with you that one. Hey, Brian. Nice to see you here. Let's see what else we got here. Mike's here. Derek and Candy Stews is here. Let's see. Kevin. I said Kevin. Yeah, Elaine. Welcome, Elaine. Awesome. Matt. Sweet. Lots of friends today. Okay. But yeah, lots of games to go through, like always. Let's just start the fun. How about that? So, first game we're going to talk about. Oh, let me check my thing it's ready to go. Oh, I don't. I think I checked. Okay, let's dive into it. Here's the first game to talk about: Dungeons of Doria. So this one is actually a reprint. It already was released. Released a few years ago. They're coming back with the same content you get before, plus new stuff. And this is going to be launching November 12th. So this is a 1 to 6 player random dungeon crawler. Basically like a procedurally generated dungeon where you'd be flipping tiles. The tiles have different elements to interact with, different enemies to spawn. A big thing about this is it's kind of like a roguelike. It's supposed to have more than 400 unique loot cards. So if you want loot, which is something I definitely love in games, this might be one to check out for that reason. I get the feeling of like a little bit of like an RPG as well, where you're managing your stats. So you upgrade your attributes like your strength, agility stats, all that fun stuff. The other nice thing about this, it seems like it has a good amount of replayability, because there's a lot of enemies, but enemies gain modifiers. That's something like familiar with Sword and Sorcery. I love that Sword and Sorcery, so looking forward to how they do that here as well. I've not played this one. I'm not sure if I know many other people have. But yeah, it's supposed to be 4 campaigns, each with 8 scenarios. So you can do like a whole campaign thing, do one-offs. It's very open for that side. So, this one, Dungeons of Doria, nice. So yeah, a ton of content on this one. Like you see the maps and everything on this one. Is there a picture of all these? It's not good. Here we go. Example of the tiles you see on there. They're upgrading with the HP markers, so you can have these nice dials, because I know they previously had a lot of tokens to keep track of. Sounds like a nice improvement on that side. So don't have a whole lot of information on this one. I wish there was a little bit more. I looked into it. I tried to dig into this one, but yeah, if you're interested in like a random dungeon crawler, this is maybe one of those ones to check out. Dungeons of Doria. So, I think Baron did a play of Doria. Oh, you know what? He might have. It's hard to keep up with all the videos. I try to, but I always miss some. I won't be surprised if he did. It's definitely very much a Baron game. Okay, so that says Dungeon Doria. That's launching November 12th, which is tomorrow. Speaking of November 12th, this one is going from a Baron game to very much a me game. I've covered this one on the channel. We have SAS Rogue Regiment Operation Gain. So SAS Rogue Regiment is very much a heavy tactical stealth game. They're coming back to Kickstarter with an expansion called Operation Gain. Now this expansion is going to have a campaign in it that's based upon our real world events, which sounds pretty cool, but it's adding a lot of different elements as well. So it's going to have bottles, which you can throw and you can distract the guards, so they'll go turn and listen for the crash into the glass, or throwing a pebble, get the distraction. Then you sneak up behind them at that point. Have trains in the game, which you can blow up or just avoid the trains. Sniper towers, and like I said, the whole new campaign as well. So I think they saw like sticky bombs as well. So cool stuff being added to this one. If you if you're interested in a very much a puzzle feeling of a game, this one has a strong puzzle element. Like there are plenty of games where I don't even touch the dice until the end of it. It's very deterministic, very puzzle much, but once the alarm goes off, then it's a lot of dice rolling and fun. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. Commandos. Very, very sure of like that. Yeah, Ryan, what was that? Must have been the wind. So then immediately dies off that. Exactly. So, for sure. Okay. So don't have a whole lot more information on that one, but if you're interested in it, I have covered a few videos of this one on the channel. You're gonna be able to get the black box edition too, which honestly is a really nice production, really great production. So looking forward to see what they're gonna do here. I haven't decided personally if I'm gonna get more of this yet. I'm on the fence. I'm gonna see what it looks like when they when this launches tomorrow. So I've got a few games on my list I'm looking at on the budget. So okay, so that was SAS Rogue Regiment Operation Gain, launching November 12th. November 14th, we're going to get a game that probably a lot of people are watching because it's made by Awakened Realms, and that is Lands of Evershade. So this looks like a massive RPG in a box, basically. Awakened Realms will very much high production value in this one, you can see. You got a character creator, which looks very elaborate in this one. I will mention that this one is heavy on the narrative aspect. So you're going to be playing audio or reading through the book or whatever. So it should have a good story from that standpoint, but I want to point that out because if you don't like a ton of narration in your games, this one's probably easy pass from that standpoint. I do like how the boards are laid out with the leveling up and everything. It seems very clean how they present everything. And of course, you open up the book to a page and you have your little encounter on there as well. So this is one of those giant campaign character builds, play on maps. It's 1 to 5 player, but like I said, if you want an RPG, if you like RPGs, but you want like the board game version of RPG, this is definitely scratching that itch for sure. Yeah, exactly. Awakened Realms, massive game? Get out of town! Exactly. They don't do massive games, right? Yeah, they do. Every game they do is massive. So I can't get past how generic the title is. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, oh, interesting 10 o'clock salary. I've done with the Awakened Realms personally. Nemesis is the only one I've liked of theirs. Yeah, Nemesis is excellent. I think that's the only one I've really played as well. Their games tend to be pretty massive and elaborate, and I haven't had the confidence to back them when it comes down to it. Plus, basically everyone I know around me wants to back them, so I can play these games with them at some point. So, but yeah, this is coming November 14th, and that is Lands of Evershade. Okay, going from something big, thematic, narrative stuff to something very compact. Very quick game, and that is Coffee Up. It's coming to Kickstarter. So this is launching November 16th. This is more of a lighter party game for 2 to 5 players. This, I will mention, it's cooperative, but it's not soloable, I don't think. I know this is 2 to 5 players, and based upon the rules of the game, I don't see how you can play this solo. So if you're looking for a solo game, easy pass on this one. But if you want a co-op game that's really quick, this could be kind of fun, actually. So the premise is there is one player who is the barista. You're basically in a coffee shop trying to take care of the customers, and you will draw 3 of these customer cards, and they have their name and their order on it. And so what you wind up doing is putting the pictures of the characters down so people don't see the names and orders. And then in almost like a Hanabi fashion, the other players will point to one of those pictures in your hand, and of course you see the answer on the other side, and they will have to say either the name or the order. And so if they get one of those, they do okay, it's fine. If they get both of them correct though, they gain a star. So you can like increase your reputation of the coffee shop. I think you're trying to get to 5 stars. But if you get neither of them right, you lose a star, and my understanding is if you lose too many stars, you'll basically lose the game. You're trying to survive like 7 rounds of this guessing thing going around. So it's a little bit of a memory game aspect to it. Don't know all the details past that point, but I don't know. This looks like it might be fun to try and see how it plays. It's one of those things that seems like pretty simple, but I'm wondering that it's going to ramp up and be a complex memory thing. My memory's not so good, so I probably won't be very good at this one. So, yeah, exactly, Chris. I assume you always have to get their names wrong. Exactly. Yeah, Kevin. It's very much a casual audience for sure. Yeah, I tried to cover a breadth of game on here so that maybe watching could find a game that kind of tickles their fancy. So, but yeah. So something very different. This one is Coffee Up, and that is coming to Kickstarter November 16th. Like I said, 2 to 5 player game. I don't think this is soloable due to the memory aspect of it. All right, moving on. Next game to talk about is on Kickstarter. This is 1 to 5 players. This is Ballads and Tales, Journey of the Brave. So this one is launching November 12th. It is a 1 to 5 player dungeon crawl. I was trying to find I was trying to figure out what made this one unique, and I was struggling with this one on that standpoint. It looks like what we expect from dungeon crawl, looting, leveling up, all that fun stuff. One thing that is unique is the art itself is all like an oil canvas, which is pretty cool. So they are very unique art style. You can play with a game master if you're interested in that, and it does support solo as well. But yeah. Don't have a whole lot of information on this one, but I do want to let you know at least it's out there. If you're interested in any of the games to talk about, including this one, I'll have links in the video description, so you go to the campaign page and go there and say, hey, notify me, follow, whatever you want to do to keep track of these games. Chris Candace with a weapon, what you think? Exactly. So, all right. So with one game I don't know a lot about, one game I know a lot about, because I demoed this at Gen Con, and it's finally launching. It's coming. This is Defenders of the Realm Legends Edition. This is coming November 19th on BackerKit. Not Game Founder, but Kickstarter, BackerKit, to make sure everyone knows. So I make no surprise, I am a fan of Defenders of the Realm. I have all of the original version of this. I've been very much keeping my eye on this, looking forward to it. I wanted to know more about it, so luckily I wanted to play a full game at Gen Con, so I can definitely talk more about this in detail. So this is a remaking of the game with the same theme. So the whole Dungeons of Realm theme is there are armies marching towards the capital, Monarch City, and your job is to stop the generals from entering the city or minions overrun the city. And it's very much a fantasy game. The cool thing is, as you see here in the image, they have upgrade components in this one with a cool castle, miniatures and stuff like that. If you played the original, this new version is very different. It has that same feeling and familiarity, but what I played at Gen Con, I felt like you could easily own both in your collection. It feels that different. And I want to point that out because if you play the original and didn't like it, I don't think that would translate to this game. I think people would like this game and not like the original, or like the original and not like this game. I think that does hold true. This is one I'm very, very, very interested in. This is probably an instant back for me. So I want to see the final price and then what the details going to lay out. But this one is one big difference about it is the original was an action-based system. This one is card play. A lot of card play, and each character has a unique deck of cards. I don't know. It's just a really cool and fun game. Managing the minions, trying to push back the generals, some dice checking goodness, all fun, all cool stuff. You produce a slot machine, Defenders of the Realm, in 2021. I didn't know that, Kevin. That's kind of cool. Huh. So yeah, I'm a fan of the Defenders of the Realm. So that's one of my go-to games. It's not one that sees plays regularly. I would say we play it like once or twice a year only, but it will never leave my collection. So yeah, very much looking forward to this one. Very cool. This one, like I said, is probably an instant back for me. That's Defenders of the Realm Legend Edition. Greater Than Games is doing this one, launching on BackerKit November 19th. Another game coming out on the 19th by Triton Noir, which is another publisher I really like, is God's Heist. So this one I will be covering on the channel. So this one, you are playing as thieves, I guess I would call it, sneaking into the armories of gods, trying to steal their loot and stuff. So this has stealth elements, of course, because Triton Noir, they have the that's what they've been producing all the games. They did V Sabotage, Assassin's Creed, and now God's Heist. I haven't played this one yet. I have it on with me, so I need to get this to the table. I will be creating a video for this week. But yeah, this one looks really, really cool. I'm looking forward to this. I tend to really like Triton Noir's designs. They do a very good job with the cleanliness approach of it, with keeping... They take away a lot of the manipulation of the game and keep it so you can focus on the strategy of the game, which is fun. So yeah, looking forward to seeing God's Heist in this one. Very cool theme as well. So, oh yeah, Mike's on here too. So yeah, the card system is really cool. So, but yeah, that is coming up soon. Oh yeah, Chris and I played a game back. Just a comment about the Defenders of the Realm. Had really solid cooperation in the game for sure. So God's Heist is coming to this channel. Just be on the lookout for that if you want to know more information about that. Okay. That is on Game Found November 19th. Also November 19th, Tanares Expedition, which I have my wrong label on here. Where it is. Tanares Expedition Central Sea. So this one I also be covering on the channel. I have played this one. So this is... It is a condensed version of the Tanares system. So if you're familiar with Tanares, they have Tanares Adventures and Tanares... I can't think of the other one's called off the top of my head. But they tend to be like a lot of components, a lot of stuff going on. This is kind of a standalone set. I don't think it works with any of the previous release content. But it has a lot of the same feel. But this one is a pirate game. So it's a co-op pirate crawler is what comes down to it. And so you'll be playing with 4 characters. You have to play 4 characters, but the characters can be played in like a reduced maintenance mode where like you don't have to manage the deck of cards with them, for example. So I did play this one fully through with managing 2 characters. So they have very much fantasy feels to them. Like one's like a ranger type, one's a support class, one's like a tank class, all that fun stuff. You'll be leveling up differently each time on this one. It plays on a book as well on the campaign, which is kind of nice. Very easy to maintain from that standpoint. Yeah, and yeah, it's cool. I do like this one. So, and you do level up with the with getting coins in this one, getting cool combos and stuff like that. Yeah, it's gonna have a cool sea dragon too. Where's all the rum gone? Exactly, exactly. So, I love the pirate theme. There's very few cooperative pirate games, so I'm looking forward to seeing another one coming out like this. But this one, like I said, that dragon is pretty sweet. So, and the leveling up in this one's fun. I'm curious. I only have one scenario in the prototype semi. It's a very reduced scope prototype, so I can only speak to that one. But I think that this is going to have a lot of different characters within the subclasses. I expect to see that at least. So, hey, Kristen, welcome. So that is Tanares Expedition, Central Sea, and that's coming to GameFound November 19th. So another game that is, I'm on the list to get. I haven't seen it yet. So, but it should be on this way to me pretty soon here, is Waste of Parts. This is a new game from Sky Kingdom Games. They have made games like Dungeon Infinity and Ice of Grand Guard. So this one is a very different theme from them. It is more like a steampunkish type theme. And you are on a moving machine, a moving city basically. And you're trying to make it across this barren landscape with these ethereal zombie type creatures that are attacking your city, your machine. And so your job is to run on the machine, install things, repair things, fight the bad guys, try and make it from point A to point B without dying in the wasteland, because you won't survive long in there. When I've seen the components of the game, it looks absolutely gorgeous with like the dials and everything they have got going on in this one. Yeah, it looks unique. It looks really cool, Kevin. I am very excited to see it. Like I said, I will be covering this one. Oh yeah, you can see the machine there. So really cool design. Uh, so just be on the lookout. I'm going to be turning this video around really fast whenever it comes to me. But yeah, when I was talking a little bit with the designer about this one, he specifically said like, Steve, I think you're really like this one. So I was excited to hear that. Yeah, cool. You got this Deadeye cannon on there and everything too, so you can install things on the ship as you run around the board, salvaging things. It's got, like I said, these weird post-apocalyptic, like a zombie ethereal type creatures. I don't know exactly. Very, very cool approach. The artwork looks amazing. I can't wait to see this one in more detail. So, but yeah. This is, like I said, it's launching on, what did I say, November 19th as well on GameFound. So these last 3 games, God's Heist, Tanares Expeditions, and Waste of Parts, these will all be on this channel in the near future. This one's up in my alley personally. Oh, cool, Kevin. Well, yeah, if you're on our Discord, I might send some pictures whenever I get the prototype. So if you guys are curious more about that. Okay, I have one more game to talk about, and I don't actually have a link for this one. All I know is it's supposed to be launching this month. So, but that one is going to be Black Orchestra Resistance Expansion. So Black Orchestra is an older game. It's based upon true history where there's a group of resistance fighters trying to take out Hitler. And so it's all about that era. And this one, they're adding an expansion to it, which will add new conspirators, new modules. So one of the modules is like where you can deal with missions from the Red Orchestra, which is another group, where you can get permanent upgrades and level up, which sounds really cool. You can recruit allies, but by doing that, you might draw attention to yourself. And they can have a Kopkov, which is one of the officers, I believe. I'm trying to think what his rank was. But he is basically the anti-sabotage guy. He'll be running on the board and acting like an adversary for the players, disrupting your plans to sabotage and take out Hitler in that regard. But I don't have a link for that one or anything. I just know it's supposed to come out in November. So yeah, Black Orchestra is a cool game. I like it. I think it kind of gets a bit of a bad rap. I think the big thing is the dice rolling in that one, because you will win the game on a dice roll, but you don't lose the game on a dice roll. And so some people might not like having to win the game on a dice roll. There's mitigation stuff you can do in it. It approaches the theme very, very well. It has an event deck that kind of follows the actual events through history, but not exactly right. So it has some replayability in it, and how you work together and everything's pretty cool. So yeah, not many games have the objective to kill Hitler. That's true. So, and yeah, it's the plotting and everything, trying to work together. It has a lot of tension in that game for sure. I do have it. I still have it on my you can't see me with the green screen behind me, but I do have it on my shelf still. Cool. So that is November. That's all the co-ops coming in November. I do have another game that I'll be making live. It is technically not a co-op, so I didn't mention it here, but I didn't put it on here, but I'll just mention it real quick. It is Storyfold from Open Owl Studio. We did play that one cooperatively. It was requested by the designer and the publisher team. So I'll be dropping that video tomorrow. Now it's launching tomorrow as well. Yeah. Oh, speaking based on Project Valkyrie. Yes, there's another game called, I think it's called Project Valkyrie, which is, it's a entirely separate game. It looks like a streamlined version of Black Orchestra, which I'm pretty interested in seeing. So I'm curious what that's going to be like, Brian. Yeah, Storyfold. So Storyfold, we're on the Q&A part right now. So since you brought up Storyfold, I can elaborate a little more on that one. The game is gorgeous, really well done. It's quite fun. It is not for Kim and I, I'll say that much. So I don't have anything bad to say about the game itself. It's just not our type of game because it's solo focused. We played a co-op and it was fun, but like it's not, we we like to play as characters, and we're not able to do that in that game. So, did you look at Catharsis 2.0? I think it goes live tomorrow. Oh, I missed that one. Darren, I missed that one. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have played Cartharsis. I didn't know that was launching tomorrow. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Second edition, here it is. It is launching tomorrow. You're correct. Let me pull this up. We can pull this up and talk about it. This is why it's nice doing things live. So this is my first look at Cartharsis tomorrow, launching November 12th. So it is indeed tomorrow. It is on GameFound. Thank you. So this one, I'm curious what they're doing for second edition, because I really like the concept of it quite a bit. The thing that kind of annoyed me was the presentation of it. The presentation layer bothered me with how they approach the graphic design and UX side of it. But the game itself was fun. So I'm curious how they set up and clean up times is easier. Artwork, okay. Trying to see if they change. Here's everything new. Roles, powers, flavor, materials, boss. They've done the artwork too. So it looks like they rebalanced some things. I think the art was cool. I just wanted like the presentation layer of it to be different. Boss deck updates, that's fine. Design updates, bigger dice. Making all yellow text on the better contrast. Here's a good one. Redesign all the font in the player decks, making it all yellow text on better contrast. That was one of the things I struggled with. It was like just like these graphic design layer elements would drive me nuts on that one. So it already looks like they're addressing some of it here, which is great to see. More flavor text interaction, bold keywords. Okay, cool. I need to see what it looks like. It was cool. I also, like, the graphic layer was one thing. It also was like just a massive game. It doesn't necessarily need to be that big. I don't suspect they probably changed the size of it, but that'd be nice if they did. But yeah, so this one is I don't know if I would call it like a Yahtzee type game, but you are rolling a bunch of dice, and you're using the dice to trigger your powers, and the powers can be used to chain other events. And your powers in there, each character has like a unique deck of power, which is really cool, because each time you play the character, they're going to feel slightly different each time, though they do have a familiar feel to them. But yeah, it was a cool game. It reminds me of, what's the other game that's like this? Dice Throne a bit, I guess I would say. A little bit like Dice Throne in its style. They're different games, though. Very different games. Health Dials are nice, too. So, new artwork. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to look at this more. Like I said, this was not on my list, so I'm glad you said something. So, I'll have to look into this. But yeah, that's... Giant balance pass, as far as I know. It's too costly for me. What is essentially card game with dice placement? Yeah, I think they could have reduced the cost by reducing like the scope of it. They could have. I think what they were trying to do is have the cards so big so you can actually put the dice on the cards and stuff. Which, cool, makes sense. But at the same time, it would cut down a lot if they didn't try to do that. I like the one guy where you can switch between 6 different characters each season. Yes. There's some really cool character designs in this game. I don't forget the name too. So, cool. I'm glad you guys are here mentioned that one. Cartharsis. So that's that's tomorrow, November 12th. So I'll have to take a look at that. See how it changed. Now, I did cover this on the channel. Derek from Kenji Studios, he let me borrow his copy. So we did play this one, Kim and I. Yeah, it's a cool game. So, okay. That is all I have for co-op stuff. So, now open, if you have any questions you guys have or anything you want to talk about, let me know, but I'm here for open Q&A. Just got this War of Mine Ultimate version, came today. I didn't know this War of Mine had an Ultimate version. That is one game that I very much appreciate the theme and the setting of that game. Focusing on the civilians are caught in wartime, which is I think there's a lot of discussions that forget about what happens to people caught in the crossfire. So I really appreciate how they address that. I think for me, the War of Mine winds up being too depressing at times. So I don't always like to play games like that. I have to be in the right mood. And some of those moral decisions, while they could be interesting, I just don't want to deal with them in a board game. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but that's cool. Wasted Parts is one I might get. My copy of Freedom 5 should show up this week. I think in the last person in North America to get it. Yeah, Freedom 5 is a massive game. I played that one quite a bit, actually. I remember demoing that game a lot because it is basically Defenders of the Realm 2.0. Because I did do a tiny bit of play testing for Defenders of the Realm 2.0, and I see that design was rethemed, and a lot of those elements were ported over to Freedom 5. Ultimately, I didn't want to pursue Freedom 5. I do really like Sentinels. I like it in the digital form. I don't like it in the board game form because of all the management tokens. I find that when I say Philly stuff, Sentinels is the first game that comes to mind. But Sentinels is a fun game. I just don't like the management of that type of stuff. But so I like that Sentinels thing. I like Defenders of the Realm. So that was a really cool thing. But Freedom 5 I like. But at the end of the day when I was playing it, I was like, you know what? I have Defenders of the Realm. I kind of like it better. So I want to be passing on that one. But it's a fun game. I do enjoy it. So, yeah. For sure. The Warmind's a dark game. Exactly. I'm not always in the mood for those, so. Wasted Parts is... Yeah, I want to see more of that too, Darren. So, it looks cool. I like the presentation of it. Like I said, I will be covering it. I did talk with the publisher about it. Sounds like, unfortunately, they had some issues with the prototypes where they had like some manufacturing snafus from the printing company. So they had like hobble bits and pieces of these different prototypes to make like a good functioning prototype of it. So there's gonna be very few of these prototypes floating around. So we'll see what happens when it arrives. How I'm gonna make this work. But regardless, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun to cover. I really interested in that one as well too. Yeah, it's my favorite this bunch too. Yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential for sure. I'm anxiously waiting for Mr. President's second edition. Ooh, Mr. President. That's the big massive. Yeah, I think that's the one that I was talking with Barrett and Derek about. A huge massive long game. I played a tiny bit of it with Derek. He taught me some of it. This is the first I don't know, like month of the game or something like that. It's very well done from a thematic aspect. Like it's really cool how it works. You have to look up in a lot of books to like reference things. But from a solo experience, you're gonna be very engrossed in that. It looks very fun. So that sounds thematically appropriate, Chris. Yeah, we are talking about making shirts with that title, with that name on it. We're gonna figure it out. So yeah, a big massive game for sure, Kevin, for sure. Cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if I see any other questions or comments coming up here. I like SkyTeam games, so that would be why I get it. Otherwise, I just wait till it delivers and get it from the start. Yeah, I like SkyTeam games too. I think they do a good job. A lot of their stuff, so for sure. Dungeons of Infinity was fun. I enjoyed it, but I like Ice Guard way better. And this Wasted Parts, Waste of Parts, sorry, is looking really good. I'm very much excited for that. It's cool to play with a visor as well, make it co-op. Yeah, for Mr. President. I was talking about that. That would be fun to play it that way. Those big thematic games. It's funny because at this point I have kind of stepped away from solo games. Not from the standpoint of I don't like them, I don't play solo. I absolutely do play solo. But I'm at the point now where if I play a game and I really like it, there are often times where I want to like share that experience with others. And when it's solo only, I'm like, well, I get kind of bummed, like, oh, I want you to play this one. It'd be cool, but not everyone's going to play solo games. It'd be more fun to play with them, right? To walk through the game with them. And so I kind of stopped buying solo exclusive games for that purpose. Plus, for the channel, I'll try to keep a cooperative focus. Because I think The other game I really like solo is Nemo's War. So that is an awesome game. Really big fan of that one. Enjoy that quite a bit. So no Voidfall or Spirit Island. I love Voidfall or Spirit Island. Spirit Island's my favorite game for sure. And I do play those solo, especially Voidfall, because Voidfall is a great game, but it is hard to get to the table and hard to get people to play with you on that one. Spirit Island is much more approachable from that standpoint. But Voidfall is excellent game. I really enjoyed that one. So that is one that I'll throw down on the table and I'll definitely play it solo. And that one I think works probably best solo. The co-op works fine, but the thing about Voidfall is I feel like if you want to do well in the game, you have to look at your hand and play and like plan out your entire round of play for that first chapter, first act. And so there's a lot of analysis. I don't want to say paralysis necessarily, but a lot of analyzing it at the get-go. And it doesn't move very fast right away, and then you kind of like execute after that effect. And so from a solo standpoint, fine, no big deal. But if you're playing cooperatively and people are doing that, it does drag the game down a bit. But it's a very good game. Yeah, and exactly, Chris. I don't have the table to stream those games. I streamed Voidfall on this table, and man, that was painful. I had like other things around me to like put the components and stuff on it to try to bring it in when I needed to. I intentionally grabbed a map that was one of the smallest footprints to try and make it work. It was rough. It was rough. If I had a bigger table, you would see more of that for sure. But that is one thing that is definitely in the hamper for this type of stuff. Spirit Island's a little bit of that too. And I think there are some games that are more fun to watch live or through videos than others. Like Voidfall, but there's a lot of fans, so that helps drive it. Spirit Island's a bit that way too. It's a little bit harder to follow, but like I said, when you have these big followings, people tend to watch it. Lord of the Rings, for Living Card Game, for example, Arkham, all those LCGs, those tend to be harder to follow unless you recognize the pictures of the cards. And you get people jumping in, they know the game, it's easier to follow that way. So, yeah. Yeah, the Crisis deck is cool. I play with a modified Crisis deck a little bit, because I like elements of it, but I don't like always messing with my plans. It's kind of weird. I'm really weird about the Crisis deck. But I do think the co-op overall in Voidfall is the better way to play the game for sure. I feel like the co-op is like the main way to play, and then like they pull stuff out in the competitive way. So trying to get people to play John Company's second edition, but it's almost impossible, so I end up playing it solo. Sad, yeah. I've not played I think it's John Company's what you're getting at with the John Con. I've heard that's good. I have never played it. War games are fun, but they're a hard sell for others around me. I know I talked to Mike a little bit about that. Mike tends to, from One Stop Co-op Shop, he tends to be very much into the war theme games, stuff like that. But I find a lot of people, especially when I talk to like Colin and Derek, and when any game with that war theme is an immediate like hurdle for them to want to try and play it again. So I get that. Not everyone's into that type of stuff. That's fine. But I do enjoy those games. They tend to be. It's funny because I feel like there's I'll say the words Ameritrash and Euro. But you know, like more thematic games, and then the more Euro games. And I feel like there's this tendency to think that Euro games are very, very heavy and brain crunchy, which is true. Like they have crunch to them, but in my experiences, there's those two games, and then there's war games, and war games are much more crunchier than Euros from my perspective, from how I value the brain crunch. And so if people like heaviness, that is the genre to dive into for sure. There's a lot of nuance and positioning and all these charts and stuff to look at. It's really cool how a lot of them are approached. But it's it's a hard thing to get people to jump into. Yeah, it's not easy to understand right away, but it's so different each play for sure, for sure. I did go. Speaking of war games, I've been very excited for this. Bad Crow Games. I did recently cover Avatar on this channel from them. They this was years ago, but they did Company of Heroes Second Edition, and that is kind of like my Grail war game I've been waiting for. So I had a buddy in town. I played his copy of it. I absolutely loved it. So I went all in on this. It is my most expensive backing of a game. I got a ton of things coming for the channel, but that should be here early next year sometime, first quarter. But that's gonna be massive buildings and tanks and units and everything. Oh, it's gonna be good times. It's gonna be good times. So okay, yeah, templates understand a bit of the strategy. It's a commitment for sure. I will say that speaking of commitment, I need to get through these last previews. These I know I talked about. I got 3 of them this week. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed to say the least. I get through a lot of stuff, but I want to cover the stuff because gosh darn it, I want to help people out. I want to but I want to get through the stuff. I think I've got a break in the previews, and I want to get back to some channel stuff. One of the big things I haven't got to the table is updating the boss battler for you guys in the live chat. I have major overhaul that I'm gonna have to do. I will reset everyone's levels, and I was planning on resetting the levels regularly anyway, just because people are getting super strong, and I was worried about like someone coming in and not being as strong, not feeling they can do as much. But I feel like you guys are really enjoying getting super strong in that leveling system. So now I'm having second thoughts about that. Like, how do I allow a lot of leveling without getting too high? I do have it set up already so that it is a uh, exponential amount of experience you need to get to the next level. Or maybe a logarithmic is a better way of saying it. Logarithmic leveling grade. So like as you keep going more and more, it's going to be harder and harder if you get to the next level. So maybe that's okay already the way it is. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to have more options for you guys when you play. So most expensive. That says a lot. Yes, that is true, Ryan. It is true. I dropped a couple games back in the day to back that one to say the least. Uh, yeah. I can't roll above a 10 anyway, so I'm good. Yes, Chris. Yeah. It's been fun. I've been enjoying watching you guys play that boss battler. And I can see some of the stats behind the scenes, so a lot more stuff coming. Because that's gonna be more of a game going forward than right now. It's kind of the thing to do, but I've got more in my buckets. Where I can just tell you right now, one of the big updates it's going to be is I'm making a guild, and so the boss is going to be attacking the guild on occasion throughout the battles you do. And so the game isn't gonna, because right now the original plan was every month there'd be a new boss, and then after you had that month to destroy the boss. And the problem with that is if I had some conflicts, I wasn't stream as much. Well, guess what? You had less streams during that month to do it. So it kind of felt kind of bad and stuff like that. I didn't want to worry about that. So now you can have a guild you can help as well to heal and try to keep alive. So you want to try to keep that alive while you're taking down the boss. So the goal is to take out the boss before the boss takes out the guild. So if you can't roll above a 10, stay away from Zaya. Yes, Zaya. Yeah, that's a terms of luck fest. It's fun. That's a fun game. Speaking of which, Iridia by the same company. Amazing game. Amazing. I cannot stress that enough. That was one of those prototypes I did not want to get rid of. I had to send it off to. I sent it to Alex from Board Game Co. It was actually coincidentally in his hometown when I had to give it to him. So I wound up meeting with him and handing it to him. But Iridia is a fantastic game. It's a really great design. So, okay. Well, I feel like I could talk for a while now, but I think we're going to end it. I don't see any more questions or comments coming up. But yeah, if you guys have any thoughts or anything else I missed, let me know in the description below. Try to do my best to try to cover the stuff as it comes up. But Like I said, there's so many co-ops coming out. It's hard to keep up with all this stuff. Oh, and the rest of this week. Let's talk about that real quick, because we got important things coming up this week. Normally, Mondays is Marvel Mondays, where we cover Marvel United. Kim had a conflict, so that's why I did this tonight. We will be doing Marvel United on Wednesday instead. So we're not skipping out this week. We're just moving to a different day. So that'll be Wednesday. Then Saturday morning, I have confirmed that we are going to be doing the Extra Life recap. So if you're not familiar, Extra Life is a children's fundraising campaign. And we're going to be talking about the results of that one. And that is the chicken suit video. So when you see me in a chicken suit, come join us Saturday morning for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Darren's going to be prepared to heckle me. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, so that's coming Saturday. And like I said, I'm dropping videos and recording videos throughout the week as well. So you should be seeing stuff trickle through over the next week. So, oh, there you go. There you go, Pickle. Marvel Wednesday. There you go. Oh, man. Speaking of Saturday, Kim's going to be running the stream. And I realized this because when wearing the chicken suit, I don't have very good dexterity because I've got my hands in these giant feathers, these wings, so I can't push the buttons that I need to do to control the stream. So Kim's gonna be running it. It might be a little chaotic on Saturday, just to warn you guys. So, should be good. Yeah, Baron has a plan. I'm sure he does. That's the plan. He'll be prepared for that stream for sure. Okay. Okay, guys, it's been a lot of fun. I will see you guys on Wednesday and hopefully Saturday if you guys can see the chicken. So, all right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time at the guild. Bye-bye.